Assalamu alaikum, brothers, sisters, friends, and everybody else watching. Welcome to Thought Revolution. This episode I want to begin with a story. Upon an occasion, a man came to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, with a piece of bone, and he was crumbling the bone in his hand and he was scattering the bone into the air. And as he was doing this, he asked the Prophet, peace be upon him, is God going to bring this together on the day of resurrection? And the Prophet, peace be upon him, replied and said, yes. And as he finished answering him, Allah revealed these verses in the Quran, which are found in Surah Yasin, chapter 36, verse 77 onwards, where God says, does man not consider that we created him from a mere sperm drop? Then at once he's a clear adversary and presents for us an example and forgets his own creation. He says, who will give life to bones while they are disintegrated? Say, he will give them life who produced them the first time, and he is of all creation knowing. Now, these verses are very powerful, brothers, sisters, and friends, right? And the reason I mention these is because we find ourselves in a very similar situation today. Just like that man, we're constantly challenging God. We're constantly attacking God. We're constantly saying, why is this here? Why is this good? Why is this bad? This is wrong. Why should I pray? Why should I do this? Why should I fast? And so on and so forth. Even Muslims, we do this, right? And I believe the main reason is because we've forgotten who Allah is, who God is, and we've forgotten who we are, right? And this is a very important, big problem. See, Islam has all the answers. We can give answers to every single question someone has to ask, right? Every single sincere question, honest question, logical, rational question that someone has to ask. As God does in this verse, God says, what's difficult? If God can create you from nothing the first time around, what's so difficult about Him creating you again the next time from dust, from bones, right? If God is all powerful, He could easily do that if He could do it the first time around, right? But the point isn't giving the answers. There's something very deep about these verses, and the verse in particular that we're going to address is the psychology of human beings, is that mindset of human beings, that we think we know best. You know, we think we are in the position to challenge God. For example, in chapter 16, verse 4 of the Quran, God says, خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ فَإِذَا هُوَ خَصِيمٌ مُبِينٌ. That God created man from a drop of semen, as God points out in these verses in Surah Yasin. God created man from a drop of despised fluid, a dirty liquid. If that liquid was to get onto your clothes, brothers and sisters, you would want to rub it off, you want to wash it off, maybe wash your clothes, yeah? This is the reality. We come from something very insignificant and dirty. And then we go into something very insignificant and dirty, the earth. Dirt, 6 foot under. When we die, we'll be buried, right? So our existence is sandwiched between these two dirty realities, right? The drop of sperm, the drop of semen, and the drop or the dirty earth, the earth, mud, dust, dirt, right? This is our reality, and God is reminding us that He created us from this drop of fluid, and almost instantly this creation stands in front of God, challenging God, becomes an adversary, arguing with God over silly things, right? If you rewind the tape back 30, 40, 50, 60 years, you were nothing more than a drop of fluid. Really think about this reality. But now we're here, we're rational, we can think, we can reflect, we can fend for ourselves, you know, we can take care of ourselves. Obviously, God gives us the power to do so. But we weren't always like this. Yet somehow we've deluded ourselves into thinking we know best, that we can challenge the one that took us from that state of non-existence, brought us into existence, then took care of us and continues to take care of us, and that now we can challenge Him and attack Him? When we know nothing, we only know a small amount, and God knows everything. And this God doesn't just only know everything, He loves us, He takes care of us, He provides for us, He sustains us. He loves us more than our own mothers do. He wants best for us. He doesn't need to do any of these things. He is still worthy of all praise. Yet He does all of these things. Yet we think we can challenge Him when we look at where we came from. Nothing. You know, and God is reminding us of this reality. God is reminding us continuously, wake up. Yeah, so don't waste your time challenging God or attacking God or thinking you know better than the one that made you and your mind and your brain that you think with. You know, sometimes we think, oh, this is evil, this is bad. Really? Think about this. God must be, we say God must be evil. Think about this. The one that gave you this compassion and this mercy and this love and this understanding, you're saying the one that gave you all of this is worse than you in some way? Think about this. He is perfect. He is the most merciful. He is the most compassionate. He's above everything that exists. Right? So He knows best. And the problem arises when we don't understand this reality. Right? Surely the one that gave you compassion and love is far more compassionate than you. Right? So don't misunderstand Him based on what you see in the world. Understand that you have a limited amount of information and knowledge. He knows everything. Right? So be content in that understanding. That's the point. And remind yourself of where you came from. Because when we do, it humbles us. And when we're in that humble situation, we realize, you know what? We're in no position to challenge God. The best thing we could do is to submit to Him and worship Him. So hopefully, brothers and sisters, this has been beneficial. I thank you guys for watching. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.